Aloha, welcome to the stream. I'm Dr. Iron Chef, and this is, I guess this is later tonight. Welcome in. Uh, we were talking a little bit earlier with those things work. Sorry, Mort. I know things were not playing. You played a couple of things. Wait, we can do that. There was that one from Mord. I think it works. And then that one should work. Wait, why is it not working? So, but yeah, Candy Waits, we were talking earlier and we're thinking of maybe going on, yeah, about 7, well, maybe 6 hours ago. Or no, it is 7 hours ago. Anyway, we're talking. But thanks for being here. We are kind of still in Jason's stream. So I'm in his Discord, but I've muted it right now so you can't hear everybody. But we'll bring everyone up on stage in a little bit. And then we'll do some shenanigans, I guess. But good to see you, MJ Hat. We have Candy White, of course, and Mord. Let's give a couple of shout outs real quick so we can take care of that. Candy White is up here first. And then Mord is here. And then one more is MJ Hat. And we'll get to some more in a little bit because I know Jason is kind of wrapping up and we're trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out a little timing, but I know he has people on stage, so I don't want him to end, and so he can keep on going as long as he wants. He can kind of keep on going on long as well. I can't even hear what he's saying right now. So, but yeah, so no Fortnite tonight. I don't know why it does. Like Stream Elements does not pick up the notifications correctly. So even if I refresh the stream info, it still sends out the wrong stuff. So I have no idea. I have no idea how that's working. So, and then we are tonight we are streaming simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. So you might hear some chats from one side or the other that you might not see. So Dustin is here who is looking forward to the Excelsior class in Stfc, and I for one I'm a big fan of Excelsior. Mainly because it is Captain Sulu's command. So that's probably the main reason for that. I'm looking at my bit rate and I seem to have a little bit of an issue. It says it's unstable. Wait, is it dropping out for you guys? I might have to shut down YouTube if that's the case. I apologize for that. But hopefully that doesn't give too many issues. there's Jason Vinek. For sure. Thank you very much for being here, Raiders. I'm Dr. Iron Chef, and we were just talking about simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch right now. This is later tonight, and so glad to have all of you here. Are we still in Discord? Here, wait on. You guys want to come into my stream? Okay, let me. I'm going to activate the Discord button right now so we can get our friends over from Jason Vinek's Super Friend Discord. Hi, welcome in. I see we have a number of famous people here. We have A. Powell, Broken Wolf, McShizzle, Relentless, and then Jason Vinek, our special friend who was kind enough to write into us today. So thank you very much for being here. And it's no longer twitching for you. Yeah, I apologize. We're going to have to figure out my bit rate is in the red right now. So if it does, that's a good question, David. I have no idea. That never happened before. So I'm wondering if Stream Elements changed something because that's happened like the last 3 or 4 streams. So, but thank you. I will try to figure out. I don't know why it's never done that before. So, but yeah, thanks for everyone for being here. Good to see you. People in Discord. The question was, are you excited for the Excelsior class? Any opinions?
We're definitely talking about that in a long-winded way of why I'm not excited.
And why aren't you excited?
Well, as we were discussing, and anyone that heard from VNX stream, they have a tendency of having these specialty ships come out where the refineries or just the loops themselves are operations based. And so if I were a player that wanted to buy a ship, either A, I would just buy the ship and it kind of collects dust because it can't do its loop, or B, I have to spend money, multiple packs of money to upgrade the ship to do its loop.
Mm,
Now, I am also a higher ops player. I'm ops 69. So maybe for like our G7 players, it's less money for, or it's more money for them, but it's still the same idea that how many packs is it going to take to make the ship useful and actually do something for them? I
Although,
think
like,
most ships are like that.
it goes back to, the ships that are ops based on their refineries, or other sourcing that we get the parts for them, versus the ships that are tier based. And a lot of the refineries, I think, that ignores how many actually have been tier based. There are some that have mixed component that are mixed. There's
mm.
some that are straight ops, and some that are straight tier.
Is there a preference in terms of how you want the specialty ships to be? You want a hybrid where it's materials and parts? You want all parts? Uh, is there a preference for from anyone?
I vastly prefer specialty ships to stay in their own lane, take their own parts, do not dip into my generational mats and resources at all. It makes tiering things and taking care of them very easy because I don't have to balance, ooh, man, I got to upgrade this, I got to upgrade this relativity or this, but it's
But it takes
got to
these.
take these star parts and oh now it switches over to 6 stars, so it takes sigma now, so when I repair, nope, just give me the ship, give me the parts, let them come from the refinery.
Well, I think there's also another aspect to this that's also worth mentioning is we've also started seeing some of the ship progressions benefit the refineries benefiting player that higher ops of making those earlier tiers take less time to progress. So I think like we've seen a lot of experimentation, and hopefully we get something. I mean, I hear the point of no math, and some of the ships that are it's nice not having it math. Like for example, the Revenant, but other times like getting that added scoring during an event where we get scoring of mats and parts, and the specialty ship mat cost is usually significantly lower. Like getting that, here's the points for the ship parts and here's the points for the mats isn't necessarily the worst.
Mm.
um, so I mean, it really can vary depending on how bad it looks, but hopefully it's a lot cheaper than it would for a FGAR ship.
I see your point with that, but the mats you actually have to spend to upgrade your relativity or any other specialty ship in an event like that, it's not gonna do much. It's barely moving the needle. Like maybe if you're 100,000 points from getting it, if you were to just do like your Revenant and you needed like 100,000 points, it's like, oh, I wish I spent like 100 rare G6 ore to put me over the edge. That's it's not moving the needle in those events
Fair
at
enough
all.
point. Fair enough point. So I mean, a lot, and at least we've had some of the ships that direction, and hopefully we see more that way.
Oh, that makes sense. Um, anyone else not excited about the Excelsior or excited about the Excelsior?
I'm excited. I mean, but that's probably because I like the ship in general. Um, I was just saying, for the model itself, it took a while for it to grow on me. Just kind of like the Enterprise D when I first saw it on season 1 of TNG, it grew on me and became one of my favorite ships. And like I said before, I was wanting that ship to be in this game for a while, just in general to be. But I mean, it is what it is right now. It's a specialty ship. We got it. I'm looking forward to what's coming in for um what we get on the researches and the abilities and the refineries. I'm interested and looking forward to see how that pans out when it goes live. But like I said, it is a specialty ship, but that's kind of why I was thinking hopefully it can be one of those specialty ships we can use for other different things as well in the game. like we do with. That's why we were going down the list earlier about the Vidar and I know we didn't get to finish that portion, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it is a ship, and I know everyone has their feelings about how they want to play the game with what tech and whatnot they have, and I totally get it. But me personally, I'm excited for it. Let's see how it pans out. Personally, you know, if it's a success or not, but I'm excited.
Yeah. Great Saber says the one nice thing is that we get the ship at the beginning of the arc, which is usually arc. The second part of the arc is when we get the ship, so that could be a thing too. I'm gonna put you guys on screen so they can see who's talking here. Again,
I
we
hope
have
that.
a lot of our friends here, and you know, it's nice to have Frida Nukes as well. So good to see you, Frida Nukes.
I
And I
hope
will-
that the fact that we're actually getting it day month of this multi-month arc, day one of the arcs, that maybe we can actually have the ship by the end of the arc. That would be really nice, so that it actually feels like we're doing its content for the overarching like story that they have set forth in the content, and not just, oh, that's multiple months old content I'm just doing
Right.
because the refinery is something I want to do.
Well, and I like one thing I'll point back to is, a lot of discussion has focused on, how the change with the battle pass, but the fact that it already provides that assistance on the OCC. I mean, it is just the common but cores that we've seen. But I don't know about for others, but I'm very curious if I get that third ship, will that let me punch up? Like
Hmm.
that right now is my big thing. And if this starts helping that direction, it'd be interesting to see.
That's true.
I
That is
I
true.
I agree with Shiz there. There's some potential to contribute to the outposts, like we just like he was saying with the cores, the abilities for the ship. It doesn't look like the abilities are necessarily going to affect outposts, but the research will. I'm excited about the ship, and I think it has some potential to impact the larger game that I'm trying to play as far as progression as a whole.
And I mean, like we've heard that the officers have been announced, and we saw at least one in there. And so, like part of this, like, does this provide a new and consistent sourcing that we might see, and how that'll go? We don't know. We don't fully know the timeline because it didn't show the number of shards needed. But you know, maybe that'll make an interesting change that we'll see with this. Because I think over the course of the year, we've probably seen some of the most experimentation with officer sourcing. I mean, I don't know how we compare prior years, but does that seem a kind of fair thing to say?
Hold that thought. We'll get to that in a second. We'll talk about the officers a little bit and the sourcing. But let me do a couple of quick advertisements. Of course, our friends Lost in Zero G's and MJ Hat. They actually have volunteered to stream before Warp Drive 5 on Monday. So starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time, they'll be doing a pre-Arcfall show. And so we'll see how that goes. And then Warp Drive 5 will be on starting at 11 p.m. Eastern, going all the way for about 6 hours until we hit Mord and his friends over there doing their Arcfall as we seek the APAC creator. And then after that, you get Breakfast Club with Candy White, Minnie, Quazo, and of course the host is Ultravelica. So you'll see all of them uh, on Monday nights going into Tuesday. So hopefully you can tune into them. Okay, officer sourcing. Now we got a chance to talk about that. I think officer sourcing has been pretty good, but that's only if you participate in the Chronicle of the Ascendant, and that's really where I think a lot of people have thoughts on that. But what do you guys think about officer sourcing?
Or current or upcoming?
Upcoming or current? You can talk about current
Well,
too.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Coda. It's
Awesome.
worked out very well for me.
Good.
I don't think it's very sustainable as far as just continuing to do as well as I have, but me and my alliance, we've been very targeted in our hoarding and in our ability to score in those events. And, you know, except for the general complaint that I wish they'd tell us when something was rolling out so we could just dump it all into dump it all into the event when it was available. Like I got stuck with DTI credits. Like I like Coda. I like Officer Depot. I think sourcing overall has taken a huge leap forward this year. It's not perfect, but I I like the direction we're headed.
Well, and I'd also offer that like Chronicles has been worked out really well for me. Like as people have pointed out, I do have questions about the sustainability, especially running out in certain areas now that like just know where left to score. But I think officer sourcing can even be extended a little further because part of it would be like we've seen more content that content has provided a consistent sourcing even with the release. Like for example, Seska in the refinery, Black Ops Chapel eventually getting to the refinery. Um, uh, the Symbiosis group, probably one of the fastest ones to be able to be sourced in under a year to max them out in DTI with Seska, and like those to me, like that's been a nice sourcing, and we saw that assistance that we've got from the augment loop as well. But that's sort of hitting a lot. But that I think is some of the changes we've seen over the years, those experiments.
I mean, because I've heard people haven't liked Coda. So who else likes Coda? Maybe in chat or maybe in voice. Who else really likes Coda?
So a couple months ago, I liked Coda.
Okay.
Now I'm closing up options to actually be able to participate
Yeah.
in Coda
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much that I just don't even care anymore. I'm still
Same.
saving things so that I can get the just for the event store every month that
Mhm.
they have the Ferengi Pass, which is also a problem in its own right because a lot of the loot that you can gain is tied to an event that is not sustainable.
Right.
I mean, and I think one of the things, and others might feel this as well, and part of what's mixed about it is Coda was an evolution from the math only spending for officer acquisition. And I think over time we've seen that straying from the light, if you will, of it, where it's slowly going back and back towards like, okay, how can we monetize this from something that moved it in an element where there's more of a gameplay aspect of not just like have you bought it, but have you bought more packs?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Because they do switch out some of the, um, I guess, the points that you need, and you're going to have to keep up with all of that, including spending a little bit to do so. Well, I'm actually thrilled that at least people aren't hating on it because I really like Coda, and I do agree that it's not necessarily sustainable, but what in the game really is. I mean, you can't go after every single leaderboard every single time previously with just a mat spend. So even with this, you might have to pick and choose. I got Nog only half unlocked through um, the main events, but I was
Mhm.
able to get them eventually unlocked with some of the other spend things. But I went really, full on into trying to get Esri and then the Hierarch because I knew those were going to be very good officers. So I think, but I couldn't do all three, right? And I think that's the choices sometimes we have to make with even things like Coda and making sure that you spend wisely or you spend efficiently to get the most out of it. And some of the things we've been
So
saying saving up aren't available to spend anymore. So that's the other
yeah,
thing to be aware of.
Yeah. Mhm.
so this might be a possible hot take, and maybe the other G folks will be similar. But I reached the point where, and I can double check this, but I think every officer in the game I have unlocked, and most of the officers from Coda, I I have them unlocked, and I have enough to promote. But with the recent one and the requiring of specialty currencies, even having the shards, I've been waiting till getting to the right position to start promoting them. So there is, as much as the emphasis is put on mat acquisition gets better at higher ops, there sometimes is better ability to engage with content being strong for your ops and staying a little closer to where things are released at. And that can even lead to a little bit more ease of access to scoring. I don't know if that seems reasonable to other folks or if that just seems off base.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. It totally makes a lot of sense.
One thing about it, like for me, is I recently went to G7 and I'm focusing on not pushing to get the vengeance, but I only do the spend events and whatnot when the vengeance's brine thing is up.
Mhm.
So that's the Chronicle of the Ascendant thing is really a no-goer for me because most of the time those two don't sync up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think
Um,
that's the thing. If there's a little bit more synergy, people would maybe find more enjoyment out of Coda. But I guess they can't do every single thing that we would like them to do in that regards.
Well, and not to be nitpicky, but like at least we've seen some responsiveness with that. I'll admit I kind of went nuts when Incursion started, and I was like, "Hey, here's this turn favor that I have no reason to do, but it'll score for the research event, so I'll do it." And then today with the domination event, and originally when we got the New Year's Eve one, it was missing the ship XP, but they later got around to syncing up that domination with the others. So like those things like that where you can see that when a loss of synergy happens, you can end up kicking yourself. If that makes sense.
Right. Right.
Very personal anecdote, but hopefully.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
running out of things in my Coda,
that's the
like
thing. Yeah, it's hard,
artifacts.
right?
I can't do artifacts anymore, like really. Because I'm down to basically like the epic transigen artifacts.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not gonna complete an SMS that way
Right.
unless I wait
Yep.
like 6 months. What else? What else is the FC day? I didn't buy Cisco, and my FC Con and FC Sloan, well,
Lorca.
yeah, and Lorca are all maxed.
Well, yeah, but Sloan is out of the count on that.
Yeah, now he's out of the count, but I don't know why I said Sloan. I was having a brain.
Well, those were the first two to get their sourcing mostly just through the Vindy, other than Sloan being in S31.
But yeah, so then I'm stuck with isn't what's it
Armada
called?
and depot tokens.
Yeah, armadas and depot tokens are pretty much it, but armadas aren't really scoring that many points realistically. You would have to do like a 1,000 armadas type thing.
They at least score higher than they do in like map spend events, but you can't just get the win just off those. Like the off their depot tokens is at least as big, if not maybe more than some of the fleet commander scoring for that.
Yeah, and the problem with the officer depot tokens is the sourcing still isn't there to like get a lot of points from that. Like you can still save up all your officer depot tokens, but like the last couple codas, I've had like 80,000 points or 80,000 after
Oh.
I saved up like a month's worth of stuff.
Well, the trick is to win
And
the
that's
first
with
leaderboard of the month and get all that officer depot tokens. Then you can score like
Yeah, go ahead and
800,000.
dump all your spending there and just ignore
and then
Coda
can't
for
do the coda.
50 minutes.
Yeah,
Right?
good job.
Yeah, that's
But then
the bind that I'm in right now.
And then
but that
for
also
the,
turns it into winning one event, but is you win the next.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
and then
You
you
kind
got
of have to stack it up a little bit. And it doesn't have to be the same month. Let's say there's a month where you really don't want the officer. Maybe you go after the office depot tokens. So you can say that for the next month when you really want to spend it for Coda. And I think I did it that one time. I didn't want the officer necessarily. So I did the leaderboard to get the office depot tokens, and I poured all of those things in to the next month to win the. I think I spent like enough to get 800,000 points off of Coda, just by the office depot tokens. So
Yeah.
it's different. If it's different ways to play, so I get it. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to figure out what's best for you. But
And then for ship day, it's primarily what we're using the specialty ships, which is
Oh,
nice. It's
That's
uh,
great.
some of us
I
are
really
running
love that.
like maxing out some of those specialty ships that are in the
yeah.
in them,
All I can do
or
is the
don't have the
relativity, and
specialty ship.
I'm over re-scrapping that, man. It takes time.
Well,
Oh, the
Oh,
Revenant,
the
yeah.
Revenant. Yeah.
Revenant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
Half
God, I
hour
did
per
that. I
scrap,
did that last run. I did
20.
12 scraps.
Yeah. It takes
I
like
wanted to pull
22
my
to do
teeth
it.
out.
I'm over it. But going to your other question, your original question, Chef. Me, because I slow roll my officers, I make that apparent. That's why everyone knows I'm like so behind on my officers, and I'm okay with that because it's V-neck style gameplay. Um, I liked, yeah, I have no problems admitting that. It's Officer Depot has been great for me. You know,
oh, good.
I literally did that. I think I don't know if it was the last. It might have been the last Ascendant event where I finally got what I needed to finish Picard Hue, right, which is key for especially in G7, but works everywhere else, of course, right? I do like that we get those like Ferengi and whatever the different season well, the different events for
The
options
Ferengi
for
pass,
officers.
yeah.
Yeah, Ferengi Pass, right? And it's cool like when you're working on stuff, we have things like the DTI or is that the Symbiosis crew or whatever crew, the Dash
Yeah, that's
that's the
Symbiosis.
yeah. So we have options. I know people are done with a lot of these officers. Speaking from someone who's not, I think our current sourcing for me has been working well. And I'm sure Ascendant events, it's going to have to evolve because it's going to hit a point where everyone's going to be done with whatever you could do for the ships at one point, right? So it's options. I will say this: I don't go extra on those things anymore. If I have what I have to spend on whatever, if it's a spend of whatever Armada or research, whatever, I go with what I have. But if it comes to the point where I need to save for something else, or if I just run out, I'm cool. If I don't finish that last level, does it kill my completionist OCD in me? Sure, it absolutely does. But I think those events are great options for what everyone else just mentioned, and I'm content right now with how it is in the game.
I think my biggest frustration
Wait, Jason,
and
I'm gonna put you in charge. I gotta bring the dog in. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go
No
ahead.
allowed to
So-
do chaos?
No problem. I'm gonna give me control of your OBS, Chef. I'm gonna bring my webcam up. I'll just,
Oh,
just
we can
messing.
do that. You want?
No. I shut off all the lights already. I'm in chill mode now. I'm just
yeah,
joking.
but I think one of the things that was the biggest frustration in Gut Punch was when they did that first initial, that big major trim out and the no notice on building day. Having that go from like if this was really easy to score really high, and then it's like I don't even know how I finished this SMF anymore, and then they're like, oh, here's the rest of the days. And it's
Yeah.
like, guys, you couldn't have let us know beforehand to just at least have some heads up. Because before that, when the DTI credits could score, like you had ridiculous scoring possibilities.
Yeah, I think they only gave us the rest of the week scoring like knowledge of it because we complained so much about the building day.
Oh yeah, it was like I can't tell whether it was they didn't think that like, oh, we should let people know, or they're just like, okay, there's an uproar, let them know.
Scopely has a tendency to hold
Hmm.
on to information for various reasons that I would like to throw things about. But
I mean,
I
just
do want to say
letting
real
us
quick though,
know
for
it.
chat.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to. I'm not discouraging anyone from doing the SLBs. I'm just sharing that I don't go hard on those anymore. It makes my game less stressful for me, like how it would many years ago.
well,
And
especially in the E7 region, like the SLB is just it's that'd just be a frustration.
it is and it
So
isn't. It
I
depends
do
on your
really.
server.
That's what I was just about to say. My server has been. You can see how people are struggling to score, or how their progression is going in large groups when G7 happened, there was a big spike in movement of people just making things happen, and then things have tapered off a bit. The last event, I won the Coda event with 410,000 points.
Nice.
And final
Nice.
synthesis scored 400,000.
Right.
So if
Yep.
anybody had placed at all and won that, like at any other event, and won final synthesis, they would have beat me. But the person that won hadn't placed in any other day. She just went out and scored. She scored big because she was making a move, but she didn't spend anything else any other day.
Mhm.
So I ended up winning the whole thing by 10,000 points.
Yeah.
Good
And
lead.
that was, and it was like, there is a fair, I said in chat earlier, there's a fair amount of Coda favoring players like the people that watch these streams that are in this room. It favors the kind of people that are knowledgeable about the game, saving for things, able to keep track, and be able to look at a leaderboard and say, okay, I can't win every day, but if I place today, this will put me in potentially in third place to finish for the week.
Mhm.
And that'll give me this many
Yeah.
shards, and that would let me unlock the officer or get another tier.
You give
And
yourself a
there's a
buffer
lot
or
of
a
players
margin.
that,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of players that don't play that way. They're just doing their thing in their vacuum. And if they score, they score. If they don't, they don't. I happen to watch the boards, and I'm not overspending on a particular SMS because I know I can't compete on this day. I know that the guy that won last week in the Officer Depot token event is going to spend his depot tokens on the officers today. I can't outscore him. I'm just going to finish the SMS if I can and wave goodbye.
Right.
Not stress about it.
Yeah. Smart players
I
like
do wanna
you keep track of what other players are doing and
Yeah.
keeps the track of the
That's a
boards.
strat.
Yeah. It's strategy.
Yes.
And then
I
they
do wanna
watch
say oh, go ahead.
like awesome
Sorry.
creators like Jason Vinek to get the additional tips that they need. So
Every I every little tip helps because I click the wrong buttons like convert all and stuff like that. So
oh
I do want to say I can't remember if it was Powell or Shiz I was talking to. I do want to elaborate what I said about it is and it isn't depending on your server. When it comes to my server SLBs, I do okay because that bracket is really small. So let's just say you have those brackets where it's like top 25 or top 50. On my server, I'm pretty much guaranteed even the last place to get placement on those boards. But to your point, when it comes to those regional leaderboards, I don't even make that board sometimes. It's hard for G7 in those regionals for me. So you're all right in that point. It is really hard in G7 on some of those leaderboards when it's especially regional or cross server. XALB, right?
yeah.
I do poorly.
I'm not sure if you're a G6 player like at 69, 70, how's the competition? Is that like something where people are camping because they can actually do well in the leaderboards?
I mean, I think I'm the lowest of the ops of the folks here, and like I've had several where I've managed, if not first, usually like podium finishes, like usually like first for a lot of the FMSs, and then like I said, then that's part of how it ended up with that being able to have a few promotions for officers. And that's been one aspect of not trying to push too fast. Also, that ease of access to content.
Yeah, they did something different here. They last time they went up a generation, they combined 5 and 6 for 5 months, and people were concerned about G5 players not being able to compete with the newly risen G6 players. But this time they actually they split the leaderboards really early, which I think is an advantage to those who stayed back and decided to camp a little bit. So. So I think if you did that, then you're probably in a better position than if you just are going to 71 and staying at 71 for a while. You can actually get the officers and some other things at that point. So.
That's been a major benefit to me. I mean, I've blasted through. Me and APAL are pretty much parallel going through G6 around the same time, and it's been a huge benefit for me, at least on my server, them moving 71s off to their own thing. G7 is off doing its own thing. That's left people, as they've phased out, going from 68, 69, 70, 71. All right, I've crept up into now 69, and there's room to breathe at 69, 70 right now. There's plenty of people chasing us up here, but like, I've got people in my alliance clawing at my neck right now on boards. But it's been a huge benefit just having those other brackets move on. It's helped me timing my progression along with leaderboards and SMSs and trying to get as much as I can out of what I'm going to do. But if I'm going to ops up, that's happening this day. I don't care what the officer is.
Hmm.
It's happening now. And I'll do the best that I can with what I have available, and I've done very well. But I don't slow my progression except to get to the next place where do I have it all? Am I ready to go? When's the next event? Next week? I'm going next week. And I'm moving up. I'm doing whatever I need to do.
Nice. That sounds like a good plan.
It's so close to 70, I can taste it.
I'm excited for you guys going to hit 70. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Me and Pal are like neck and neck on this one. It's been like
you
he
guys
went
are
into
competing against each
G6
other.
like a week or two before me. I'm like, we're hitting 70 right at the same time. Like, I really need his server to ascend so we can duke it out one day. Cause like, but we're not gonna be in the same veil. It drives me nuts. I want to fight this man.
You want to have some healthy competition in the Veil. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I am wondering if they will ever either rotate people or servers in the Veil, or just create new ways to cross over eventually. The other part too is I am wondering if they're going to split up the Veil, like if there's a lot of G7 players or whatnot in the next 6-7 months. If it gets too crowded, I'm wondering if they're going to split it up where they create more space for people to be up there. Those are all just random thoughts I had, because it's something that eventually it might change the way that people are operating once there's more G7 players.
I would like them to fix the node problems that
First.
some people are still
Yeah.
doing before they even try that, and probably break everything again.
Right. Right. No, that makes
Definitely.
sense. That totally makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, we have some new information on the ship, which you guys went over a lot. Did you guys talk a lot about the officers, Jason, coming up?
No.
So
did not.
while, if you don't mind, we'll switch over to that topic in just a little
course.
bit. But I want to kind of, I can't really talk about the magazine that we can't talk about, right, Jason?
Oh, that's already been out in the wild.
I know.
It's been sent out, but I chose not to.
Yeah,
I'm not going
to talk about the thing that's a thing
Yeah.
on
I think that was a joke.
on Canva.
Yeah.
But we have heard rumors, right, Jason, that there are
Rumors,
new
yeah.
officers coming out.
Yes.
DJs talked about it yesterday, so I'm sure we can kind of follow up with that. There's two specifically, which I'm not sure which one to talk about first. Maybe we'll talk about my favorite, which is Hikaru Sulu, coming in as Captain Sulu in command of the Excelsior. So we'll be a captain. Hopefully his ability affects a lot of good things with the ship, and we can put him on the bridge of the not just the Excelsior, but some other combat ships as well, to help us with the game. My reason for it is very simple. I mentioned this on Candy White's stream that as an Asian American, he kind of represented us in Star Trek, and that was one of the reasons why I really loved Star Trek, because he's mentioned this before. It represented all of Asia, right, Jason? It wasn't just like
Yep.
Japanese culture. He
Yep.
represented
Yep.
all of Asia, and that's just to see him being in command of his own ship. I remember being in the theater and just like cheering with the rest of my
Yeah.
friends in the theater to have him
Yep.
sipping his tea on the bridge of the Excelsior. So
Yeah.
it was it was
That was
it
great.
was neat to see. I mean, it was just neat to
Hmm.
see him there. And I mentioned this also as well that I just tagged him in a post on X because Dr. Mom is doing her dissertation, and part of her dissertation is reaching out to educators who are descendants of internment camp during World War II internment camp internees from Manzanar to some other places, and talking about their experiences being passed down through generations. But um, you know, George Takei has a Broadway show that he ran called Allegiance, representing Japanese Americans who were patriotic and really wanted to protect the country and served even though their family members were in internment camps that served in Germany, fighting for the United States. And so I was hoping he would help get us some research subjects there. But I think just having Sulu on board as officer in his captain's uniform is just kind of a neat thing to see, and kind of completes the whole circle of movie officers that we have in the game. So I think
Well,
that's one of the things that we have. The other officer coming in is Uhura, and hi Rev Deuce, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Uhura, I think, has a very special history. So we end up with her in Star Trek Six, Undiscovered Country. She is about to retire as the communication officers of the Enterprise, but lo and behold, there is some lore, and we'll kind of thank you for the shout out for Rev. And so this is on Memory Alpha, and I kind of wanted to bring it up because I think it ties in a little bit to where we are, because in this iteration of her in game, she is not Commander Uhura; she is actually Captain Uhura, and that was the first thing I spotted on the picture, was that she had the captain's rank on her uniform. And so she took command maybe about, I'm going to say, 8 years after Undiscovered Country, to command her own ship. And this was I can't pronounce this. Anyone see it on the screen? Know how to pronounce this? Is it Leon de Grace, Grants, or Leon de Grants? I don't know.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Works for
So,
me.
so we'll go with that.
well,
Sounds good.
So
I
yes,
think that was mentioned in Picard, because you do see it mentioned, and that actually is the plaque from the the episode in there.
Yeah. The
yeah,
beginning
yeah.
of Starfleet Academy, right?
Yeah,
And they're outside.
Starfleet Academy. Yeah, so it was a ship she commanded. Then they used it as part of Academy, where she was able to kind of lead it as a training ship for them. And I thought this was amazing too. Like she took over command in 2301 and retired in 2333, which would have made her 96 years old. So she
Yeah.
commanded that ship for a long time, and it was in Picard, because a couple of the episodes mentioned that he had joined the Speed of Light Club, and he was on the ship on this ship, maybe even on the ship when Uhura was in command, that he went to light speed for the first time. So that's kind of a neat thing to have here. So she did, even though we didn't see it on screen, she did command her own ship. And this ties into where it should be in the game, right? She's going to be a captain just like Sulu, in command, hopefully, of her own ship at this point. And they might be going on missions together. Now, one of the other things I thought was kind of interesting here is that they have some notes in terms of the script that was previously. One was for Generations, one was for the Voyager flashback episode, where they went and did a flashback on the
Excelsior.
Excelsior with Tuvok. And so she actually was supposed to be in that episode. There was a part written for her where they're watching footage, and then she notifies Sulu that Spock had told Starfleet Command that the Enterprise warp engines weren't working. And so there's a lot of different things where she was in this regards. This was part of this was part of Undiscovered Country, Star Trek 6, and there was this conversation that she has with Sulu. So there was this connection that she has with Sulu in this Voyager flashback, which wasn't seen on screen. They weren't able to produce it that way. And then there's also a scene that was part of Star Trek Generations, and that she was supposed to be there probably instead of Scotty, and maybe McCoy was supposed to also be there, but she was actually supposed to have a part, and she was part of helping the comms officer make communication about what was going on. I thought this was something that was very interesting in terms of the times and how things wrote. It says that her line was supposed to be, "Honey, a transporter is just like a man. If you want him to work for you, you got to boost his gain and modulate his signal." So that was a very interesting line. Who knows if that was actually how it was written, but that was supposed to be her one of her lines in the story. So it's interesting how Excelsior class is tied into Uhura a little bit. And I'm wondering if the devs actually looked at Memory Alpha and kind of got an idea of like, let's pair up Uhura and Sulu in a way that they weren't able to be paired on screen previously, and paired on screen with Excelsior class.
Do you mind if I take a second for another aside?
Yeah, please do. Go ahead. We're all about asides.
So, yeah, you know how you mentioned about going full circle with Sulu?
Yeah.
So I've got a full circle little bit of trivia on Uhura that you may or may not know.
Okay.
Feel free to like jump in if this sounds familiar. But are you familiar with the astronaut Dr. Mae Jemison?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you probably know where I'm going then.
No, this is a good story if people haven't heard it.
Share it though.
Yeah. So she, as a kid, had gotten inspiration from seeing Uhura on the original series. Ended up, and I'd have to go back to her biography to make sure I'm saying this correctly, but I think she's both a medical both have a doctor of medicine and also has been a scientist out there, astronaut that has gone to space. And what better than who's going to Disney World when you could get that chance to get to go appear on Star Trek? And if you have a close eye and know where to look, you catch her as one of the transporter operators in the Next Generation, and that nice little bit of full circle going from watching folks on Star Trek to going up to space and then getting to be like, sure, I'll be on Star Trek. Why not?
Yeah. On TNG. Yep.
She even actually once came to speak at one of my alma maters, and it's actually the one that I went to all my classes but have yet to actually go to campus. It looks beautiful. Didn't actually go there.
That's still kind of cool though. That's still cool.
Yeah, it's still really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So, but fun trivia.
So I got a few comments in chat that Tuvok wasn't on the Excelsior. It was the same actor. Yes, it was the same actor for sure.
Yep,
Let's
Tim
look
Russ.
at Tuvok right here. And
Episode was that?
I think they showed him like what on the final scene where they had the Sulu's bridge officers saying goodbye to Kirk.
yeah, so I don't
The
know.
actor?
It says here on, again, Memory Alpha, so that the first Hikaru Sulu on the USS Excelsior, where he serves as junior science officer. So I thought he was, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I was referencing Memory Alpha here.
Oh, I'm thinking of
I
the Enterprise B. Sorry.
Was about.
I think my understanding was Tim Russ had originally played a character on the Excelsior in Undiscovered Country, and then during Voyager they retconned that character to actually being Tuvok.
Yeah.
But I mistaken his bridge thing too with Enterprise B, so I apologize for my previous comment. It was Enterprise B he was on, the Tim Russ, not Tuvok.
Yeah. So McSussman says same actor, eventually retcon to Tuvok. So I just wanted to kind of figure that one out. So yes, he wasn't originally supposed to be Tuvok, and they had retconned him. So it makes sense. I guess it's trying to figure out how to explain the ears, right?
They didn't, but they didn't retcon his appearance in Next Generation.
That is true. Or Spaceballs for for that matter. Is he going to be in Spaceballs too?
God, I
I know
hope
that
so.
it's coming.
I don't know.
So I think he would, it would be good if he was in Spaceballs too. So yeah,
Another
I kind of just wanted to figure that one out because I get confused in terms of exactly how they did it. But if they retconned him, that makes the most sense.
Yeah,
another
they-
throwback episode I love is when DS9 goes to KT7 with
The Tribbles.
the Tribble episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, are you guys excited about the new officers? We don't necessarily know what their abilities are, but how are you
I am.
guys feeling about having Sulu and Uhura in their movie versions of it?
I am, but for like the Excelsiors, for biased reasons, I'm a fan of the Monster Maroons
Yeah.
uniforms. Plus, I did enjoy their characters, or at least their appearance or portrayal, whatever you want to call it, in those movies. It was really cool to hear that, the other canon stuff where they did Ahura and everything like that, and it's good that you have the Sulu bloodline flowing throughout,
Yeah.
different Star Trek episodes, at least mentioned in lore and whatnot, and they're going to be mentioned again in Academy as far as historic Starfleet officers and whatnot. So I'm kind of glad that we're getting these versions of their. Again, I know nothing of their abilities. I'm just speaking strictly that I'm glad they're bringing these versions of the officers in game. Personally,
Dustin says on the YouTube side, Sulu's ability should be fly her apart.
Fly
Yeah.
her
Can I
apart.
can I give a little bit of spoilers from the magazine, Chip? Or
Absolutely, absolutely.
it has the abilities is the captain's maneuver is master of this vessel,
Mm.
and his officer ability is don't call me tiny.
Oh,
Now
Well,
that one's from
Master.
Search for Spock.
Yep, that wasn't in the prison. In the
oh,
prison scene.
it was 3 or 4.
3.
Three.
It was 3.
He had to
Okay,
break
okay,
out
3.
bones out of the funny farm
That's
Now
right.
here's
or whatever.
here's the kicker part. Uhura, her officer ability is message from Starfleet, but her below deck ability is be careful what you wish for, which
Transporter
was
room.
the
Yeah.
transporter room with that young ensign that was
Yep.
saying,
Yeah.
Mr. Adventure.
Mr. This might be fine for you, whose career is,
Yeah, yeah.
winding down. But and then he made that comment, and I'm just like, you know what? When I first saw the movie, I didn't really get it at the time, but looking back, I'm like, oh, buddy, you just stepped in it big.
Right.
Yeah, she looked fantastic in that moment. Just like, oh,
Oh
wish
my
for it,
God,
bud.
she was
Just
great.
Yeah.
holding the gun on him, like, yeah,
That's
you
ownage.
thought I was over the hill, buddy. Get in the closet.
I like the master of the vessel. That was like one of his opening lines in his captain's log on the Excelsior too.
Yep.
As much to the did we all have to turn ourselves in.
Sorry, let me mute that. Sorry.
Oh.
I was watching Undiscovered Country. Sorry.
Oh. We should do a watch through of Undiscovered Country in Discord. That's one of my favorite movies. I mean, I think it's because I saw that in college when I was a freshman, and it's a little different than watching, Wrath of Khan as a teenager than actually being in college and being able to understand the politics of. Maybe that's why it's the politics of undiscovered country, how Russia and some of the things in the EU were happening at the time, and the political tie-ins that it had with Chernobyl and some other things. So I don't know. I think Undiscovered Country was a very, very well made movie and a terrific send off to the original series crew.
Yep.
Undiscovered Country. That was the Klingon one where Gorkon is assassinated, right?
Correct.
Yep.
It's been a while since I watched
And
it.
Chang's in there with the ship.
Chang, you have Kim Cattrall as I can't remember what the officer's name was.
Valeris.
Valeris. Yeah. And then
Okay, so our Klingon or OG Klingon officers in game are in that movie, which
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Thorne was in it, I believe.
Like
Michael
Colonel as
Dorn.
Colonel Worf.
Yeah.
Colonel Worf, the great what was it, whatever. Relatives, ascendant, descendant, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ancestor.
And of
Yeah.
course,
And
you know,
I was a political science
Colonel
major
West.
in college. So I was just starting my freshman year and, studying politics. And then you have Undiscovered Country coming out. So I just thought it was a wonderfully made movie. Because my other favorite movie, it is 2, 4, and 6. Yeah, those are really my favorite movies out of the original ones.
That's a pretty common selection. 2,
Yeah,
4, and 6.
yeah, but
I
I
do add
actually
3
think
in
I
there,
would put
but
4 above 2, and I'm not sure if I would put 6 above 2 as well. I think it's just the nature of the movie, the comedy and the political nature of the movie, kind of as for me, it talked a little bit more to me than again being younger and watching Wrath of Khan. But Wrath of Khan is really good from a submariner type of strategy. I like the strategy in it in terms of how they maneuvered and made it like a submarine movie. So, all right, let's see. So yeah, we got officers coming in. We have Excelsior coming in. I am looking forward to just having the ship. Just kind of like Jason, I think the Excelsior is a neat ship. I'm very glad the Excelsior class extended into the Enterprise line with the Enterprise B. But yeah, that's really I think it's something in the game that is going to be beloved in terms of the lore and the historical perspective of people wanting the ship. But the difference is going to be whether or not it performs very well and everything else. But I am just looking forward to seeing the ship in game and being able to fly around with it. So Lawson says he will buy day one.
That's right, Lawson.
I am not surprised because I think a lot of
Yep.
people will. I think even if it wasn't a very good ship, a lot of people will. But I know Lawson does very good with making wise choices. So he is totally free
Yeah.
to play. Jason, do you know how he
I know.
gets all his stuff, all his packs and games? He's free to
Oh,
play.
it's streamer donations. He doesn't. It's not out of
No,
his
no, no.
pocket. It's what
He
cheaper
just like
streamer
concentrates really hard on the game, and then maybe takes a deep breath. Sometimes he
Yeah.
spins around a couple of times, and then poof, the pack is in the game. And
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
that's how he. And I've
the
been
power.
trying to figure out how he does that.
Me too.
He already has his
Well,
fourth
from-
cube, because he just
Yeah.
willed it into the game.
I'm jealous.
He willed it
I'm
into the
jealous.
game, and that's how.
Well, can I go
thought he
back
was
to your comment
Free
about
to
whether
play
or not
however he
What,
wanted.
Jeff? You want me? Yes. Did you send it over to me? We're gonna have a live debut of a video from Lost In. If you want to send it, send it over.
He said it's PG, so it should be fine.
It should be fine. It should be fine. Yeah, we are, and thank you very much. If you're in voice, I do appreciate it. We try to keep it a little bit cleaner here, just because we're on YouTube, and most of our audience on YouTube is kids because it's a Disney Channel. So I do appreciate that because that really helps with not having to scrub the video afterwards and try to take some stuff out. I'm just. Did you didn't, okay, here. I see some dots in Discord from Loston. So Loston plays STFC in his free time. Yeah, he plays it. I mean, he doesn't even touch the screen. He just uses his mind. There might be copyright issues on YouTube. Okay. If I do this correctly, I think if I keep it to a certain size on the screen, I can get away with it. If not, I have the ability. So mark at 1 hour, 58 minutes, 50 minutes, sorry, 5 minutes and 37 seconds. We will put this on screen, and then I can blur it out. So that's the good thing. I can blur it out and mute the audio if I need to. So I'm downloading the video. right
Check the
now,
innocent.
and
So
then
can I start some thread to pick up after the video if you don't mind?
no, go ahead now. I gotta download the video. So
Sure,
It'll take like
So,
20 seconds.
okay,
yeah, I was just going to bring up because like you were talking about whether or not the ship is good, but I think this is one where we're so used to thinking about most ships. We look at like what it can do, but we occasionally get times where we get chances to really have it be what can it do for our fleet. And this probably gives us a chance to utilize something that its main usage is the fleet, or maybe it's for like at least outside the fleet.
okay. I will play Loston's video right now. I got a preview if you didn't hear it. So here is Loston, our favorites. 72. Well, actually, no. We have 272 free to play players. I can't really say our favorite, but two of the most popular free to play players in the game. Send us a video that's PG.
That would be
Totally free to play. Totally free to play. Totally free to play. Totally free
Oh
to play.
God.
Totally free to
I
play.
think I know what's
you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Totally free to play. Totally free to play. Totally free to play. Totally free
Oh
to play.
God.
Totally free to
I
play.
think I
Oh, Mort is free to play too, and he's 72.
Totally free to
I
play.
don't think you know what that means. But I'm free to play. Free to play. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Thank you,
that's
Loston.
perfect.
It's hilarious. So I appreciate the PG-ness of it. Even more so.
Lord
So
HD
thank you.
is trying to sound like JFK.
Oh. You use free to play for trials file transfers too? Yeah.
Oh, the whole FTP joke. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's a old joke.
Oh, there's
sorry.
some Discord echo. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah. There's shucks, but we'll get that. We'll clean it up in
Well, it's
post.
also funny because there's the stream delay and listening on Discord.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little bit of sound there. Well, anything else? I wasn't planning to stream super long because one, we're doing this push for partner, and we're trying to make sure that we keep on going at the requirements that they have for us, and I think we met it. So I think it's been very good. Thank you very much. But is there anything else? A Scribbler fixed her STFC. So
Nice. I see that. Yeah. Nice. Sue.
that's been a headache. So very good. That glad to be able to fix that Scribbler, and then she can play with her new computer, which has a 5070 Ti in it. I am very jealous about
Nice,
that.
dude.
So,
That's great.
so, but yeah, I'm glad that she can do some more STFC content. Anyone in
Well,
voice? Anything else you wanted to mention about the new arc, or anything else about the game?
Well, I wonder if the Excelsior, the ability to buff other ships, is it going to be like this cute thing that'll be cool, or is it going to actually be useful?
Hmm.
Because the Titan is actually pretty useful for its ability, but I'm sure the higher ops players are starting to wean themselves off of ever using it. Like for me
that's true.
personally, I don't use Titan. Like I actually have to remember to use Titan for my daily so I can keep doing the pull for the FC things.
Gotcha.
Well, and that also goes back to like with higher ups players being able to get some of those ships there has only gotten harder and harder. Like for G7s, I don't know if is it possible to get them to where you're hitting also for the G7s.
It might be one of those things where it's just to punch up every once in a while.
Yeah. I know Lawson uses it for his outposts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
like
far as my dailies, I don't use it to do my dailies. Put it that I do it for the daily for that one pull, the Titan daily. To just do it like you were saying, but I don't use it for my kills.
Yeah, I use the Titan, but I'm still trying to punch up with a lot of stuff, and the Cerritos together. So
Well, I'm still toying around a little every now and then with trying some of the G7, so it can be a little bit funky. But I think, you know, my overall thoughts, I'll be curious to see how it interplays with the rest and how
Austin.
some of the new content plays out. And it looks like it already touches on some of the recent content, so you know, maybe it helps some of our past loops. You know, we'll see how the rest of it looks. I do wonder what we'll see as we see some of the initial progressions. And it'll be interesting to get a sense of like how the community reacts and evaluates it.
Oh, and arenas. Sorry, I forgot about that. Lawson reminded me just because he's Lawson. I use the Titan for arenas.
That's true. We were doing that yesterday, right? I saw you guys were boosting and everything else.
Yeah, we were boosting. Yeah.
That actually might be the reason why people will get it. If it can be used in arenas and it provides something significant, that might be the place that it will be useful. The team that made flashpoints made January, February. That says enough. Oh no, ref. Is that the case? You know,
Oh
if
God,
they
I hate that idea.
if
But
they
my own
go ahead.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, who's that? Go ahead.
Okay, I think the only positive that I've been looking at recently is Galactic Rush. Like my main point of comparison, because some people are like, "This is bad as Flashpoint." I'm like, Flashpoint was better than this because Flashpoint at least had some decent ability to be reworked into something good. Whereas Galactic Rush, I like just leaves me with a sour feeling on chain events.
Mm.
Like there's probably ways that chain events could be good, but it seems set up to generate a lot of waste. It doesn't seem like it just doesn't feel good. Whereas like by the end of Flashpoints, I think suffered the most from that. Fleet Command is not a game where it's set up to be responsive to how we do with it, and that I think is the biggest thing. Because like they put it out, there was a lot of issues with even what it was formatted as, what the scoring requirements, the level of effort. And if it had been more responsive and adjusting to seeing, oh hey, we made this too hard for players, and they made those adjustments earlier on, it might have been a workable thing. But they put out the thing that they weren't able to adjust like they probably thought they could.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to wonder, like, did it work as well as it was supposed to? And you know, there's so many things that like I feel like unanswered questions, but like Galactic Rush, it just, you know, as Pumpkins is saying, like it just seems like it's meant to be just a return to a spend event with more steps in the middle.
Yeah. Rev says just ignore it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just ignore it. It'll
So-
be fine.
I
I'm
love Rev.
personally
Rev,
looking
thanks for
forward
being
to.
here.
I'm personally looking forward to the arc. It's got a ship that I'm got some nostalgia for. It's
Yep.
got officers that I'm hoping contribute to the game. It's got potential long term as a support ship, maybe more. You know, we've seen specialty ships do a lot of really big things in the last year, so I'm looking forward to the experience. I'm hoping the events and everything that go around it make it pleasant to deal with versus, you know, something that I have to struggle through.
That's true. Yeah, hopefully make things easier. That actually is. I think everyone wants that.
Okay, I got a question here. And
Yep.
hopefully, I don't know if I'm smoking plumber's crack or what here, but I scrapped a Revenant, tier 5,
Mhm.
level 25. Did the thing applied the skin, got it, you know, put the skin on before I even started doing upgrading it. Only got to tier 4 and a 7th, basically. And
Oh no.
and I opened up a support ticket, and they said,
Nope.
no, will improve your cost efficiency, but not to the point that you can merely reach the previous tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Working as intended.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
think
Working
if I
as
remember,
intended.
correctly, with each of the things, you want to have like one more refinery pull, maybe a little bit more than that before the scrap.
Yeah.
Now, granted,
Okay.
like, if
Yeah.
it times out with when you get like the big pull before you get that upgrade and get the refinery over again, and especially if after the refit you can run that weekly refinery, that should cover it. But that is the thing that might be the catch.
Here's the thing, I
Yeah.
just pulled the daily and weekly before I did this.
Mm.
And I did it again afterwards, and I'm still missing 26,000. So, okay, so that's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was one of the big things that after you scrap it, you'll be able to tear it back up to the same level, was one of the big
And
things.
you want to watch out for that same situation for future scraps. You
Oh,
want to
yeah.
have a little bit more saved up and at least a couple of pulls, like, because when you're going back through the progression, when you get up there, like there's a couple of pulls in there that you might be able to get, and if you need them, yeah, you got to save and make sure Spock's Club will show you with all those refits and whatnot. It's imperative that you don't fall into that hole again, because it gets worse, and then you
This is
won't be able to pull that refinery. And it
this is the
gets
first time
worse.
this has ever happened.
Oh,
Yeah, it
The
it
first time
seems to
on
be a deliberate.
my main account, have never had an issue going back up to the.
you might have
Yeah,
had refinery pools that had extra parts in it. That's why you didn't
Yeah.
have that issue.
That may have had.
well, but he said that he did that, and I thought that was enough to cover it. So it may have been.
What I thought too.
It may have, yeah, it may have
Okay.
been for what, like when I did it, I may have had a couple extra pulls and waited till I got to the polygon after getting all the parts. So that may have been being a lot more excess than where he was.
Could be. Could definitely be. Okay, so I was smoking the plumber's crack then. Not a
No,
problem.
I think you had some extra parts because I ran into the same problem after I scrapped it twice, and I went, "Oh, I can't bring it up to that level." But I must have pulled enough extra parts in between between the scraps that I was able to upgrade it all the way the first time, but not the second time. Because I thought I was going to be smart and do that for one of the Coda events, and it didn't quite work out that way on the second
Oops.
scrap. So it's just one of those things.
Okay.
Well, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason, for the raid and everything that you've done. Thank you for all the content creators. It is Rev. Whenever you're here, it is such an honor. You're one of the legends in the game, a content creator, and you're such a huge star. It's always very much appreciated that you're here. We have Lost in here as well. We had MJ Hat and Mord Scribbler is here. Thank you to all the content creators who are here and really do appreciate all of you. And then to the people that are in voice on Jason's Discord, Frida Nukes, A Powell, Broken Wolf, McShizzle, Relentless. I know there's a couple other people that kind of stopped by. I really do appreciate all of you, and thank you for all of those you're in chat. I see Mr. Tony, and other people here. Thank you very much. And I do know that they had sent people over from DJ's channel here to kind of watch and lurk a little bit. So I'm going to send as many as people that we can back over there as well. So no, lost in. Thank you.
What's good
Thank
for
you
the
the
goose
bits.
isn't good for the gander, huh?
No,
What's
no,
going
no.
on
It
here?
begins, and so it begins.
No.
I'm so glad my stream ended.
No, thank you, Loston. I do appreciate it. So, but yeah, we will wrap it up here. We'll be on tomorrow after Tibbs at 8 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern, and I'm guessing 11 a.m. What time is it? It's not 11 a.m. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. And then check out all of our friends who are going to be on next week, Monday. We will see Lost in, MJ Hat, and Zero G's during the before Warp Drive 5. So they'll be going on at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then, of course, Warp Drive 5 will be there for 6 hours, starting at 11 p.m. Eastern. on my channel. So if you can come over to my channel, that would be great. And then we have Mord with his friends from Australia. I think a lot of them are Australian, right? Jason. No, 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 no. And then thank you very much, Jason. We are in the hype train.
Oh, you monster.
And
Where are
thank
you
you,
trying to
Jason,
send
very
us?
much. I was thinking Decam wasn't here, so we were safe. So,
I'll do just the one drop. That's it. Just the one drop.
Thank you.
Drop.
And then
I really wonder how many communities have made hostage train the thing.
hostage train is a
Pass
thing.
on the love.
And then we have, of course, Arcfall Breakfast with Candy White, Minnie Mabel, and Quazel, hosted on Ultravelica's channel, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern. So think about this, right? You're going to have our friends basically covering just Arcfall coverage before we even do any kind of resets. We're looking at about close to 12 hours of content right there. So, of course, I don't have a poster for DJs. DJs also is very kind. As I don't think there has been a time where he's been streaming. We've done Arcfall where he hasn't rated into us. And so very thankful for DJs for always rating into one of us who are streaming during Arcfall. Do appreciate the support all of you give to Warp Drive 5 and to myself. And thank you for even for the hype train. Do appreciate that. Not necessary, but very much appreciated for sure. Very much appreciated for sure. Since we're in the hype train, I do have one piece of content. I didn't want to steal all the thunder, but this is Mord HD's USX Excelsior information. He has put together a whole thing with the video. Let me see if I can slide. I don't know if I can slide this over. But I don't necessarily want to take his thunder because he has a whole bunch of information here about the ship, about some of the abilities, some speculation here, and then of course the V'ger armadas, as we like to call them.
Well, and it looks like from there's a comment in chat from Mord.
I can use it. Okay. We will cover some of this probably during Arcfall, and then we'll cover some here. So there's all this is. I mean, it's amazing stuff that that they're able to do because this is all off the video. Let me see if I can shrink this down. Yeah. Okay. I think that will work. I'll make it a little bit better. So yeah. So there is abilities here. Excelsior will use its deflector array to decloak a hidden V'ger fighter ship, revealing its position and forcing it to attack. Kind of like the Voyager is able to do with some of the ships, the cloaked ships. When this ability is activated, the USX Excelsior will coordinate with your other deployed ships around the galaxy and granting them the enhanced status. So,
Well,
go ahead.
Mind if I poke to something for a second?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you go to the one where you see the silent enemies?
The silent enemies?
In Mord's graphic.
You might have to scroll up, I think.
I have to scroll up or down.
I think so. You're talking about the screenshot of the actual gameplay screenshot?
The screenshot from Mord's, if you keep
oh yeah, the
going
silent
past
enemy. Here we go.
Yeah. So if you go further down.
Oh, down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you might be able to see it on screen now.
Yeah, but it was where you see V'ger in the background and the silent enemy. I might still be seeing a stream delay.
Okay, let me.
But
there it's on stream now.
This one. Yeah, you're talking about this one, yeah.
Yeah. Where it comments about maybe we're seeing a return to Q trials that that point.
Austin.
And like one of the things that it just had seemed when we saw that daily comment is that seems a very specifically worded daily for it. So maybe we'll see some things with this that we're only seeing so much of it so far.
No, it's true. That is true.
So I do
here
kind
are
of hope
the dailies
that, like,
here. Earn points by mitigating damage with Apex Barrier. versus level 64 to 69 V'ger silent ships in whatever space that is. And then also earn points by defeating V'ger silent ships at your ops level in V'ger space.
Thank you, Lost In, for level 3 hostage train.
I know. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I can't. There's no way I can be upset. Thank you very much. It's going to go to some much needed stuff, which we haven't mentioned yet, but it will go to some much needed stuff. I did. I'll show you in a little bit. So okay, so these are the silent enemies here, and then the dailies that come with it. I can show you some new stuff that we got. Wait, hold on. It's in the. I don't want to dox myself because it has my address on it. I think this is the one. Wait. Sorry, very loud. Thank you, Coulter. Thank you for 100 bits. I did get, if you can see this, this is a new gimbal because my old one, when we went to Disneyland with Moopsy and Samo and Scribbler, my gimbal broke, so I had to get a new gimbal, and it's a pretty nice one. It can do face tracking and other things, so we'll have that available. And I haven't talked much about the cook-off because that's DJ's things, but I am looking forward to DJ and crew coming down this week, starting with some special guests coming in on Tuesday, and then next weekend we will. How much can I say? We'll be doing stuff this week coming up. So starting as early as Tuesday, probably later on in the week, we'll be having some adventures as DJ goes to Hawaii. That's what I'm just calling it. DJ goes to Hawaii, and we'll do that. I do not have an IRL stream backpack. That is just something that only professionals like DJ has. I am very much an amateur. Scribbler will get a backpack before me because she's much better at that as well. But I have figured out the most cost-effective way of doing this, and we'll kind of show what this thing can do, because this is a lot better than my previous one, even though it's a DJI one. And we're hoping to get 4 microphones hooked up instead of when we've been streaming, we've only been able to get 2 microphones hooked up. So I'm hoping that we can get 4 hooked up with the setup. So yeah.
DJI makes good gimbals, dude.
I kind of panicked and just picked it up because I'm worried about tariffs. And that's where this one is the newest one, the 8, the DJI Osmos Mobile 8 just came out about 2 months ago. So let's see.
Yeah, DJ's is gonna get some real good use out of that backpack for being a Pokemon Go streamer.
I know what that backpack can do. I've been watching those things, and part of it is because, one, you want to have the failover, so you can actually stream without worrying about the connection dropping. That happens at Disney World a lot, especially when we go inside. This backpack would not fix that, because if we're inside the, oh my goodness, Austin, oh no, he's ending now.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, DJs. We're inside the rides, and sometimes the ride goes underground and we lose all connection, Wi-Fi, cellular signal, Starlink, of course. So that wouldn't fix it. But what it will fix is just the intermittent drops that happen. So that was one with the modems, the 2-cell. I wanted to get a 2-cell modem kind of thing, and
they're bonded.
Yeah, they're bonded.
Well,
But we had a
all you need
workaround on that. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, all you need to then be able to fix that problem is you need a second person that you station with the backpack outside with a relay function that can then provide that point-to-point connection.
No, that's true.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So solve one problem at a time.
I don't know how much I
solve
should talk about this. Well, I think it's all legal. So when we went to Disneyland, this was the first time or second time we went to Disney World. Uh, I was able to using it's called it's an app called Connectify. I was able to bond all five. I had my auntie's cell phone because I bought it for her, and I said I'm going to take it on the trip before I give it to her, give it to you, so I can actually use it on the trip. So I bought her a cell phone. So I had her connection because we have her on our cell phone plan. So I just told her use her old phone for a while, and then we'll kind of use it. So I took all five phones and their Wi-Fi signal, and I bonded it together there, and it worked really well through Connectify because I could just, and I had a mini router in my backpack running off of USB power, and it was fine. It was super stable, and I didn't run out of cell phone data, which is the other thing that you have to worry about. Is once you hit that 50 gig cap, then they throttle your cellular data. So I was able to. We need some Fortnite to extend this. we no, I don't know if we could do that as well. But yeah, wait, can't you guys extend DJs for like another hour? Lost in, right? You can extend them, right? Isn't there a redeem for that where you can kind of extend them? But thank you for the 2,000 bits. So thank you for the 2,000 bits. But yeah, no, he's still going, isn't he? Still going?
I think Loston's trolling you.
He might be trolling me. Wait, hold on. I'm checking DJ channel. Anyway, so we're able to get 5 cell phones plus the.
Man, you did that on MJ Hat's stream last week.
Oh, I see. Oh, there's no timer up there. Wait, doesn't he go like for? He's only been on for like 3.5 hours. He's got to be going on for another hour.
He's trolling you.
He's trolling me. Okay, which is fine. If Loston wants to do that, that's perfectly fine. I have no qualms with him. Loston is super supportive of all of us, and I can't thank him enough. He just is just a wonderful person to do that, and we really appreciate that. But yeah, it doesn't seem like he is. He has at least 20 something minutes, so we can end this hype train, and then we can go off over to. Wait.
Yeah,
wait, what just happened here?
Loston went in again.
God.
Loston.
Did he save
no,
the
over
You
over
did
on
it.
his side.
You did it.
Thank you for the 5 gifted. Oh, you're just Lawson is just a wonderful person. So, but yeah, so it was like $10 for like a month. So whenever we go, I just pay the $10 and I bond all the cell phones together. And especially with the Wi-Fi from Disney, because Disney has really good Wi-Fi, I can have a pretty stable connection there. And then it's just a matter of there's nothing I can do inside the rides. They're just some of the rides that they go underground or their buildings are you're really in the interior of the building. There's nothing you can do. You can't get Wi-Fi. You can't get cell data. You can't, of course, get the Starlink. So for what DJ wants to do, it's going to be awesome. And to have it premiere in Hawaii, I'm just going to dig this a lot. So I've seen his encoder. I know what the encoder can do. That is something that again. If he's able to run it remotely off of his phone, which I'm pretty sure he has the plan that can run it off of his phone, he can do all kinds of stuff with that, including if he really wanted to pull in other streams and configure it that way. So I think that's going to be really cool. I'm glad he has it, and I'm kind of a little jealous because it is high-end equipment. But for us, what we do with Disney and the parks, there's no real need for it. The only issue I have with the Connectify is that if I upload YouTube videos, they think it's a VPN and they kind of block me uploading videos. So I have to disconnect the Connectify and just do it on a regular computer or whatnot. So
is he using one of those solo boxes?
I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't see it on the website. So, but he also said he was getting another piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't see anything on the web. I checked out the website just to see, and I went. This very good stuff. I'm not saying it's not good stuff at all because it really is good stuff. I just one, it's out of our price range, and then two, it's not necessary for what we're doing with the streaming at Disney. The good thing is Disney Land and Disney World has good Wi-Fi, and it just for being indoors, it's not going to help at all in that kind of situation. Even if we had multiple connections, because there's just no signal. There's no signal in like um, Pirates of the Caribbean or in Haunted Mansion when it goes underground. Those rides they go underground outside the park into the special building, and then they come back out, and then that's when you get the signal again. So, okay, we have a minute 27 on the hype train, so we will get ready to. I shouldn't say anything. It's I shouldn't
Yeah.
say anything.
All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna be heckling DJs for his lack of knowledge for Pokemon Go.
Oh, that's
Well,
right. You do that. I forgot.
well, Pokemon specifically, as I am not familiar with Go, like if how different it is compared to the regular games, but I've been playing regular Pokemon for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And realistically, the creators for Pokemon Go are like me. We've been
Austin,
playing for years and years. The original games, so
thank you, Lost In. He gifted 6 more subs.
Legend.
He is a legend. He's just awesome. Thank you, Lost In. I really I can't thank you enough. It's wonderful. Let's see if I can. I'll put everyone back on screen. Yeah, level 5. It's a level 5 hype train completed. We don't get hype trains around here very often, so and most of them recently have become because of Lost In. So, and thank you for the shout out to Lost In. If you're not following Lost In, please do follow him. He does some wonderful stuff, and very very much thankful for him. I'm keeping myself hostage. I need sleep. This hostage train is your own hostage train. Lost In. No, please go to sleep. Don't. Thank you. I thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I shouldn't. If you don't know me, I have a hard time really. I'd rather help other people than receive help. That's I guess it's a bad trait, but I don't know how to respond when people are just super generous like this, because I feel bad to tell
You're a
you
humble
truth.
dude,
I
dude.
rather
You're
other
very
people
humble.
get that. So, but thank you, Lost In.
You're very humble and you're a very kind person. You know.
That's that's having parents who my parents were very giving people. I wrote Scribble knows this. I wrote a chapter in a book, and so it's part of the book. But my parents, they gave a lot to other people, and even my grandparents, they gave a lot to other people, and so that was passed on to us, and just to be more generous and to give more than you take. I think that's just the right way if you have the ability to do so, and that's why I have a hard time when people are kind like this. But I at the same time, I don't want to be ungrateful. I'm very grateful, and so thank you very much. So, Service says,
Well, we're grateful to have you in the community.
no, thank you, Jason. And we love
Seriously.
being part of this community. Dr. Mom and I talk about you guys all the time and how wonderful you all are. So,
I'll be straight up with you, Chef. You're the only reason why I accepted Next Gen's Content Creator Season 3.
really?
Mhm.
Thank you. Well,
Nothing. No, I don't mean
no,
that in a negative way
I
towards
know.
everyone
That's
else.
why I
No,
don't.
I'm
I don't want
saying,
it to sound really
yeah.
bad. I think maybe it's
yeah.
more. I pushed you into it, and then you accepted. I was kind of forcing you
No.
to do it.
No. I think it was because it was you that approached me, and you've been nothing but supportive, and answering when I came back to Twitch and all that stuff, and just talking about the game, and introducing people like how they do their stream styles and gameplay styles. Seriously, you're uh, you're the reason, and
Uh,
that's why I call you the Admiral.
no, thank you.
Hmm?
I enjoy watching you, Jason, and seeing all the things that you do on stream. I try to learn as much as possible from what you're doing. But I think more importantly, I like how your interactions with the community are very genuine. And in this day and age, it can be very easy not to be genuine, and it's not a struggle for you. That's just who you are. You are very much real to people in the community, and I do appreciate that. Um, I do like how you engage with the community. I like how you open your stage. I'm very glad those of you in voice decided to come over. I don't do that very often. I think that's because I'm an introvert. so
Well, no,
so
thank you for having
I don't know who I was telling, but I'm more of an introvert than anything else. So it's hard sometimes to figure out how to interact with people in a way that is engaging, but also doesn't leave people out. So doesn't leave people
No,
out.
really appreciate you haven't letting us carry over and keep talking here.
No, I think having people um, together on stream is wonderful. You just saw, we just went through a whole bunch of different pictures of upcoming streams for Arcfall. I I can't tell you how much when I see that it just brings joy to my heart because that means that people are working as teams, and I think that's the only way we get through life and get through the game is working together to accomplish stuff. So you guys are that's very kind. I'm just a regular person like everyone else that plays the game, and I do appreciate that. I'm not any special thing per se, but I do appreciate the comments and the well wishes and everything else. I don't take well again to compliments, just like I don't take well to generosity, and I gotta work on that. People told me I gotta work on that, but I do want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for being in voice. If you want to know where everyone is, they're in Jason's Discord. I don't have the link, but make sure you not just follow people on screens on that they're not only just on screen, but they're also people are interacting in the Discord. And so please join people's Discords and have a good time and just enjoy the community. So
But DJs did end, by the way.
he did end.
He did. I just looked.
No, he didn't. He did.
Yeah, he did. I'm not lying
He
because
did.
to
Went to
Lish-
Lychee.
did.
Lychee, yeah. Cool. So we can get the chat longer. That's great.
No, no, no.
No, so I want to say is, Chef, I stream when I stream, and you guys, some of these guys know if they're in my Discord. If I'm too tired or have had a bad day, I won't stream on my scheduled stream days. It does take energy to put yourself out there on a camera, and interact with all types of people from all types of the world. It does take some energy, but but like any other person, I have my good days and bad days. And then I'll walk away for for the evening or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But I like watching you because I'm like, dude, I've said this many times, I'll say it again. I'll have a bad day and I'll watch Chef or just look at his smiley photo and I'm in a better mood already. No joke, dude. I've said it because I mean it, dude. I'll be like, how would Chef deal with this on his bad day? He'll just smile. Then I'm like, okay, I'm good. he'll find the positive in everything, and I look at you for that because when I have my moments, I'll be like, okay, let's pull a Chef here. Let's regroup, and I'm like, he'll find the single positive in a dark hour or whatever, whatever the term is,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's all you can do, right? Life is hard sometimes, and we go through our ups and downs here as well. It's not like it's all sunshine and roses all the time, but I think that's part of being old
Yeah.
too, is that they're just like, well, what
Yeah.
you gonna do? You just kind of have to move on and do stuff.
Um,
So
and honestly, I will say this again to your, to your, to your credit. Um, I've said this briefly recently a few times, but I haven't gotten into depth into it. I've become less aggro in the in parts of the game because I envision Dr. Iron Chef. Let's find a positive way out of it. Out of it, I look at some of my earlier STFC streams from when I came back versus now. I'm like, okay, let me do a Wusa in Dr. Iron Chef mode and try to find something out of it. You know,
you know, I
so
think that's the
I
game. It's there's parts that it doesn't look right, and you kind of have to not, engage with those things. And there's some things like maybe there's something here that we're missing that's actually really positive. It's kind of like a constant mystery, which is frustrating. I can see where it's frustrating sometimes, but I actually think there's a
Well,
lot of things that are hidden here that we just gotta figure out. Um,
I mean, that sort of goes back to kind of the point I was sort of alluding to earlier. Of like, we so often look at like what can the ship do, and outposts are one of the few things where, as much as like I don't want to sound like I found them to be amazing. I have like the one aspect that they can work really well if you try to figure out using your ships as a fleet versus as individual ships.
no, I guess so. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Because I mean, like I think a lot of folks look at it from an approach of like, okay, let me spread out the damage, and I've taken like 180, and granted, I'm still living that two ship life, but I go with, well, I can control which ship gets hit. Let me. What if I use more of a role based approach? One of these is providing. One of these is tanking. One of these is dealing the damage, and sort of shifts a little bit of it from just that like, okay, I need to crew just one of these. It's more, how do I crew across the ships so that they work together?
No, that's true. And I think that's why we like the game is mysteries and puzzles to solve for sure. And thank you,
Yeah.
Lost In, for the for the hype train and all the bits and gifted. You did another 200 a little bit ago, so thank you very much. Um,
and this is my way of hanging out with my friends too. And I don't mean that in any negative way. This is my way of hanging out with super friends. I don't go out no more, dude.
oh
Yeah,
well,
I will say this, Chef. It was that I remember when this happened for me. It was one of the streams you came on. I was doing. You came on. I think it was a stream together because
like
I was.
I broke into your stream and told you
Oh
to
no no
fix
no
a whole
no
bunch of stuff to get me on.
no 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 no. It was one of the ones where we were talking about probably another state of the game
Oh, okay, okay.
stream, and then you brought up a different perspective about why things might be the way they were. Remember that one?
Oh, the one we're talking about, how culture affects,
Yes. Yes.
different things, and even like different parts of the world, they have different ways of looking at things. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that one.
That was that's the stream where I've been trying to be less aggro because of that because of that. And we spoke about it afterwards, remember?
Right, I remember. I
Yeah.
remember.
So because of that time, I've been trying to be less aggro about the game in general.
Yeah, so if you
So
don't know what we're
again,
talking about, this was a few months ago. It was I don't know what triggered it, but it might have been
yeah.
uh, Connor wasn't he didn't release his video, but I think he released some notes. And there was a lot of discussion in terms of the internals, right? The internals of what was happening at STFC. And I it was just a wondering,
Mhm.
because Scopely, well, Digit is located in Ireland. They went through a whole bunch of things to increase their video game industry by the government, and how the government can be involved in terms of influencing how Digit operates. Talking about how um, the Saudi Arabian investment company that bought Scopely What's it called again? I can't remember what the name of
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
company,
parent company,
but
right?
Scopely is not
Yeah.
Scopely anymore, right? They got bought out. They got bought out by Saudi
The,
gaming
the
company.
investment fund of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So it's actually government funded as well. So you have two different governments. You have Ireland, you have Saudi Arabia that have influence upon how things operate. Probably Ireland more so than other Scopely games because Digit is located there. Understanding how the gaming industry kind of took a turn for the worst, right when Digit was starting up. So a lot of the Digit employees came over from PopCap Games when they went under, because they had an office. Actually, they didn't go under, but they closed their offices in Ireland. So there's all these people that came over from there, and they had their own culture there as well, in terms of how they operated. So it's just a wondering. It's not a it's I have no clue of how things operate, but just given the discussions in terms of culture and how things operate internally within Digit. Um, it was a wondering in terms of, is it because there's influences, cultural influences, but also government influences that affect how Digit operates as a gaming company, and that can't be easy if those things are in conflict. So Savvy Games, there we go. Savvy Games actually owns Scopely. I think it was a $4 billion. I
I think
shouldn't say
so.
numbers.
Yeah,
I get numbers
That
confused.
that
sounds
sounds
really
familiar.
familiar.
Yeah, $4.1 billion acquisition. So, um, but that's interesting, right? Because Ireland wanted to create a gaming industry as one of their main industries there, so they invest a lot of money into it. And Digit is a very very small organization. They've only been around for less than 15 years. Um, so it's not like a gaming company that has roots like some of the other ones. And it's a very small studio, which is very interesting in terms of how these small studios actually operate and do well. And for them, Star Trek Fleet Command was a hit. You're talking like over $1 billion worth of revenue over the past 7 years, if not in the first like 5 years. They hit, actually maybe even the first 3 years they hit $1 billion. So it's a lot of money that they brought in, and there's a lot of money that they actually hopefully saved up and can invest back into the game, and have a little bit more leeway in terms of being creative, but also being making, maybe even taking risks in terms of what they do, and those risks sometimes work and sometimes they don't. So, but they brought in a whole lot of revenue back in 2020, during the pandemic. So it's just interesting. It's an interesting thing of looking at how they might operate and why we don't see it the same way, because we're looking at, from most of us are looking at from an American lens, as opposed to like an Ireland lens or a Saudi Arabian lens. Not that anyone is correct or right. It's just a different perspective. So the question is how much Scopely itself has to say. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. And again, I'm not saying right or wrong. I just don't know. So it's just kind of a thing to think about. Is that the conversation you're talking about, Jason?
Yep, that was exactly it. That was
So
exactly it. We were discussing. That was the point of view that made me rethink a few things.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I led off with, in Japan, if like your bullet train is like 1 second late, there's a huge apology. Like it is like the worst thing that could have happened. Like they didn't deliver something on time. Like your train didn't arrive at the station on time. So
And I
when we
mean, that is a huge cultural thing, and
right,
it goes towards also like what the expectations are and what's viewed as the standard.
right. So when we talk about comp chess, is there a different cultural perspective on that than Americans have? Because if it was a Japanese company and something went wrong, um, you would get a whole lot more rewards, I think, just because they didn't do something right, as opposed to you know another type of country. It's a little different standard. Not, again, not right or wrong. It's just different. You know, I
Well,
don't.
and here's another aspect to ask it, even before considering comp chess, like what would the amount of things causing the need for comp chess be? Like what allowance would there be for getting into situations that have to be comped?
Right. Right. Avoid the situation in the first place would be put the
Yeah,
resources
I
behind that,
mean,
right?
because I'm gonna try and make sure that I get the term that I remember. Yeah, because like for example, the concept of pokeyoke, if you're familiar with that,
Yeah.
you know, it's been one of the things that got integrated into Six Sigma, the thing, but the whole fact of like it is better to do everything that we can to prevent mistakes than having to deal with dealing with defects or catching mistakes after we make them and trying to remedy them, and designing for that prevention aspect.
Right. Right. And again, you know, everyone has different standards. I don't want to necessarily judge. It's just different.
It's
And I
different.
can't,
That's all it is.
you know, I can't it's just a way to try to understand what's going on when we're talking about it at the time and looking
Yeah.
back on it. So,
And that really stuck out to me. Seriously.
so
I really did.
yeah, I mean, I was probably a little tired and just talking a little bit too much. So that's why I mentioned all those things.
No, it was great because like again, the whole thing with that was when we had the open mic that night was to get everyone's opinions and views about that what we talked about that night.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you. Again, it's nice to be able to talk to some of you. Like, I don't get to talk to, Frida Nukes or Powell or Broken Wolf. We see each other in chats every once in a while, but that's the thing. And Red, I don't know you very well, but I'm so glad that you were able to come here. And McShizzle is all over the place. McShizzle is in a lot of streams as well. And it's nice to have you join us, and thank you very much for your willingness to come on and on Jason's stream, and then more so on my stream, just to hang out. So thank you very much. It's something that's I appreciate that, and thank you for doing that. So all right, let's see. I don't know who to rate out to now. Do we have a rate target?
No one's playing the game right now on Twitch, so you have to find somebody playing something else.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have. I saw Sandy on, but Sandy went off as well. Oh no, Sandy's still on. Why don't we rate into Sandy? Playing Stray Gods. So we haven't rated into him a long time. It's been months. So yeah, I think that might be our target for tonight. But thanks for being here. Again, we'll be on tomorrow after Tibbs, and then Arcfall coming up. We have a lot of special streamers going to be on, so please check all of them out. And there'll be over 24 hours of STFC content starting on Monday evening for most of you, or Monday afternoon for me.
What time again is your Arcfall on?
Our Arcfall starts at here. We'll go through the list again. It starts with DJs, and then also with our friends Lost in MJ Hat and Zero G's at 9 p.m. And then we go on at 11 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be for you 8 p.m. Pacific time, Jason. And then
I'm pretty sure I can make that.
Yeah,
I should
Mord
be home
will
by
be there.
then.
And Ultravetica for Breakfast Club, starting at 2 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, which I will be sleeping by that time. I will be
I already know I'm not going to be home. I'm not even streaming tomorrow, dude. I already know how my schedule after work's going to go. I'm not streaming. I normally stream Mondays, but I'm not going to make time, get home in time, excuse me, to stream. So I'll probably pop in.
As we read out, I just wanted to say thanks again, Chef, and thanks, Jason, for having both of you for having us up, and everybody for
Pleasure.
coming here and listening in. And Jason, I know it sounds like things will be busy, but I hope you're doing well tomorrow.
I am. It's just because I'm carpooling, and I know my wife has to stay late, so I usually wait for her to get off, and then we got to do some errands. Um, so that I already knew this Monday was going to get jacked for me as far as what time I get home. But thank you though, I appreciate it. Nothing bad's going on. It's just busy. But thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all again. Thank you for all the lurks. I know a lot of people were just trying to help us get a partner. So thank you very much for all of that. We'll rate out to Sandy, who's playing Stray Gods, the role-making musical, which is actually looks pretty cool. We'll try to see what he's doing. But thank you again. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we will see you soon. Hui ho. And radio over to Sandy.